What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 54 Yards with the Gentleman. We are in week 4 currently. Today is September 17th, 2025. Beautiful day. One day closer to the weekend.
One day closer to the weekend, man. Super exciting. Week 4 of college football. It's already been a quarter of the seasons will be played after this weekend, and so it's going by too fast. This is what we wait for all season. So, super excited. The slates are starting to get better. Starting to get some marquee matchups. Starting to see really who teams are. No hiding behind cupcake teams anymore. It's going to be the real deal here coming soon. So super exciting. Big game for us in Norman this weekend, facing our former quarterback, which we'll
Yes,
dive into here shortly.
sir. I've been waiting for this pod. Oh, my God.
Anybody that watches tape just knows,
He's been
just
saving it for this moment.
saving what? You can't just turn it on like we've been saying. You don't just turn it on.
Hey,
Maybe turn it over,
no,
but
you
not
don't
turn it on.
He's been saving it for this moment
Turn on what?
specifically.
Turn on what? Nothing.
Hey, just wait. All that
I'm
hype,
wait-
all that hype he was doing
There's
when he was coming in and everything he could do, he saved it for this moment.
When you're this far in and you still double hitch the ball, that might work against weaker teams,
That's
but
why
you
he
do that
was
against
doing it. He
us,
knew he was
you gonna
playing,
pick
and he
no.
had to run a Manila offense, keep everything off the film.
No, they run check with me offense that doesn't work on the road. Trust me.
Right.
Like I said, I just watched Brooks Austin today, and he was like, I've been watching film for 12 years, and I still don't know what Oklahoma runs when they come out on the field. They match coverage better than anybody. They pressure the QB from different spots. They play gap sound football. This is elite. You're going to see it here soon. It's going to be on display, as I like to say. But going into the games, man, we got the Sooners. We'll talk about them here soon. I'm going to give Carlos the floor because his game is weaker this week. I mean, it just is what it is. You play Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
so
y'all's game is weaker next week, so
yeah, we'll do that. We'll let the person that has the weaker game go first, get their stuff off, and then
I said it on the morning after, man. I just need to see some improvement. You know what I'm saying? I pulled up. I'm not logged onto Twitter onto my desktop, but I bookmarked this tweet, and it says. Maybe I didn't bookmark it, but I sent this to you, so I'll find it through that. But basically, Sam Houston State's defense is really, really bad.
yeah, ranked like 131st or something in pass defense. I think that was what the tweet said.
Right here. Sam Houston State ranks 133rd in pass defense, 113th in pass efficiency defense, 115th in completion percentage allowed, 131st into passing TDs allowed, 119th or worse in 10, 20, 30, and 40-yard completions allowed. So if we can't get it going here, that's how I'm gonna be sounding. I ain't gonna know what to say. I ain't gonna know what to say if we can't get it going here. This is the last game that you get before it becomes the real deal. So if we can't get the machine going here, at least semi-oiled, don't even have to be well-oiled, semi-oiled before we get into conference play, then I don't know what to say. I think realistically, we want to put up, I would say we should at least put up 35 points. Minimum. That should be the goal this weekend, 35 points minimum. Obviously,
Yeah.
you should want to put up a lot more, maybe like closer to like
50.
I don't know, 50. But
Yeah,
35
especially if the
points,
offense is moving the ball and
Yeah.
you get a couple turnovers. Y'all have actually the longest active streak in FBS at home, I think, for forcing turnovers. I think it's like 19 games straight.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that continues. But like you're saying, just put up some points and
Yeah. Like we
put
should
it together.
we should
Put it all
cover,
together.
like realistically, if everything was going as planned, we should cover the spread no issue, which I think is like 40 and a half.
40, yeah. It started off at like 42 and a half, and then I think it's been dropping down. I'm taking Sam Houston State just until proven otherwise on that, just because it is a lot of points. And I mean, I'm not saying they're going to score on y'all, but I could see them,
Is that a
getting like
straight bet, or is that like a parlay bet?
That's just in my pick'ems. I don't think I'm gonna bet
Okay,
that.
because if you straight bet it, I'll pick Sam Houston State for you, so you can't
Yeah,
win.
yeah. But I just, I saw it in there and I was like, that's a lot of points. We just gotta, see it all come together, right? There's been a lot of disarray from Texas fans, not only from what's been happening, but also just kind of like a little bit of coping, if you will. You got people posting graphics, this is what Joe Burrow did the year before, and then, he
Why
took
you
off.
hating,
And I'm
man?
like, listen, like you can compare all you want, right? And Arch should take the jump next year. I mean, he should take it this year. I mean, he's been in the system for 3 years, so I look at it as like, yeah, you're comparing Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow, like, similar situation, didn't play at all, but he had transferred into LSU. It wasn't like he was at LSU for 3 years with the same offensive coordinator, same head coach, and learned the system the whole time. So, with Arch, just want to see him make the throws. I think really with him is I don't even know if it's his mechanics anymore because I've been watching some old games. I just think it's more so he's just so sped up right now in his processing and reading everything, and he's pressing to make the plays, especially because he's kind of had the start he's had. So I think and I say this when he has like guys running free and guys open, some of the throws he's missed. I think he's just speeding up everything, and that's what's causing him to miss some of that stuff. Now the off script stuff, trying to force plays, things of that nature, that goes into pressing. But then again, there is guys open as well. So, hopefully you guys can get that rolling, man. I would like to see y'all be at y'all's best, especially in a couple of weeks when we see y'all, So, I'm
Yeah.
hoping that y'all can get it rolling.
And then also on the flip side, we talked about Sam Houston State's defense, but our offense. Now this is just in the SEC, so I don't know exactly where it compares to an FBS. But I feel like if it's this low in the SEC, it's probably pretty low in FBS as well. But Texas is last in the SEC third down conversions, last in the SEC in red zone conversions, 12th in the SEC in fourth down conversions, 14th in the SEC in scoring and total offense, 13th in the SEC in pass yards per game, ninth in the SEC in rush yards per game. Arch Manning is 13th in the SEC for passing rank, QB passing rank, 12th in the SEC for long passing plays, last in the SEC for completion percentage, 13th in the SEC for quarterback rating, 14th in the SEC for interceptions thrown.
Yeah. So,
So
you read off all those stats, it just shows that you guys just aren't generating uh, any explosive plays, any efficiency at the quarterback position, which obviously is, limiting you guys in the games, right? Arch had the game against San Jose State where he threw 4 or 5 touchdowns, but like me and you both said, short field, you get the ball inside the 20, like you throw a touchdown, from inside the 20, that's not an explosive play. It's a touchdown, right? But you know, it's not what you want it to be. And like, even for red zone efficiency, you guys have been doing a lot better, but you still haven't even seen that materialize because all the touchdowns have been explosive plays or, from inside the 20. It hasn't been like inside the 10 where you got to like actually punch it in, as well. So, yeah, just reading off the statistics, I got SEC Mike. He posted the offensive play, explosive plays of 20 plus yards after a week 3. And it has like the actual number, like where you are in the or in the nation. And Texas is last in the SEC, or tied last with LSU in the SEC, both at 92 in explosive plays. So,
yeah, it's not great, especially for the type of offense that we do run, um, and the type of athletes that we do have. Yeah, they might not be the fastest as they were in the years past, but I feel like the speed is still there. I feel like it's just normal, I guess now the speed, like
yeah.
like on
Hmm.
par as with other people's speed, and we don't have like
Hmm.
you know the guys who like the Xavier Worthies or the Matthew Goldens who had the separation, and
Yeah. The
Adnan
4.2s
Mitchell,
running
yeah,
around everywhere. Yeah.
and Adnan Mitchell who was one of the best route runners Texas ever seen. So we don't like have that so to say, but like we still like the speed is still fast enough and it's still there. We just got to get those playmakers in hand. A lot of guys out on injury this week, which obviously we want to get that taken care of and squared away. I feel like majority of it is probably just like precautionary reasons, which like you mentioned in the morning after, it's still like bad because you need those guys on the field not for them to get reps, but for Archie to get reps with them.
Yep.
But I get it, you don't want those guys getting hurt now and losing them for the whole, conference season. So, you kind of just take care of business on the light half of the first season, and then once it gets really to it, especially next week having a bye, I feel like that's mainly what it is. But nah, man, we just want to get healthy, get good, and hopefully with those guys can really show what we do, man. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things to say, but there's just really not much to say that we haven't been saying for the past 3 weeks now. Just on the offense side of the ball. I mean, there's not much to say on defense either. Defense is great. Defense does their thing. They keep us in the game, and there's not really keep doing great. So, okay,
Yeah.
keep doing great, but nah, man. Yeah, just goal for this week is probably to put up at least 35 points. They shouldn't score against us at all. They probably will, but they shouldn't. They'll probably get like a touchdown, maybe 10 points. But yeah, has to go this week. Put up 35 points, improvement. Maybe this is the game that he breaks out the funk and we win the national championship. But y'all have a fun one this week. This is the one I said I've been waiting on for basically the whole season now. Couldn't get here any faster. Hey, Jackson Order 400, baby. Come on, let's get it. Either way, it's going to be on the feet or on the ground. On the feet or in the air. How you want it? Just tell me. Let me know, and I'll let him know. Hey, man, he wants you to run for 400 yards, or he wants you to throw 400 yards, or if you want him to split it up, I'll let him know that too. Because
he's not throwing for 400. I'll tell you that.
All right, bro.
And he might run for. I don't think he runs for 100 either.
I'll
but
hit him up, and I'll be like, hey, man. Hey,
you do what you need.
For 100, man.
He's only done that once. It was his first start, and he's regressed. And it was against
he said 275 and 130 on the ground.
He's not doing that. Defense is too good.
Total touchdowns.
He didn't even do that against Baylor.
3 total touchdowns from him.
And their defense is nowhere near as good as ours.
Yeah, but bro, I'm telling you, he doesn't want anything on tape, man. That's what.
Bro, stop. That was a big game for them. They're putting stuff on tape against Baylor. Listen, I'm gonna just.
Man. They didn't need to. All they had to do was run the ball.
Listen, that's not going to happen. This team has played with him. They know his tendencies. Brent knows his tendencies better than anyone. Brent is going to be in his bag.
What he wants you to think, man.
Listen, Jackson's still struggling.
You're not listening.
No, you're just talking. You're just trolling. Brent, no, you're trolling. No, you're trolling.
Have a legacy game.
Okay, put your money where your mouth is. Bet on Auburn then.
You will find out on Chips and Slips. Make sure y'all tune in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, go ahead.
He's going to have a horrible college career, but this game right here, legacy. Defining moment in his career right here.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are hoping, right? But when you look at the tape, man, he still doesn't process information as well. He's obviously improved as a runner, but he's always been able to run. He's super athletic. He gained weight this year. He looks like he put on about 20 pounds because they were like, we got to run you, which tells me a testament of what they were expecting from him this year because they know he's still struggling to throw the ball and get the ball involved. He's obviously got some of the best receivers in the country, one of the best rooms, but those guys can bail him out of plays, make plays. I expect them to take some shots with those guys, and we will be tested, but I like where we match up with them. We match up with them well across the board. Our defensive line is great. We have the scheme. We also have the corners, I think, to run with these guys and play man coverage. And then also, if we can get them behind the change, that's when Brent Venables gets in his bag, can blitz, can change the picture up on him, can make it super hard for him to read. And if he is struggling to process against worse teams and way worse defenses, that extra half second or second that he's had in those games will not be there in this game, point blank period. So I'm just excited to see how we line up and obviously how this team approaches it. They approached last week well, especially because that was a, sleepy game, bring your own juice game, go on the road. And now you got Auburn at home. This is a game the last week they could have easily looked ahead. They looked, polished and clean. And the only thing that worries me this week is we do have a couple injuries on the offensive line to be determined on who will actually get the start. I think a lot of guys can go and will go, especially because we have the bye week and then Kent State. So there's basically 2 bye weeks. No disrespect to Kent State, but you know what I'm saying. Similar to y'all sitting guys out. You know what it is. But I think we handle business. We show up how we should. This game shouldn't be in doubt. We should be able to do what we do. And the way we match up with them, we saw Sawyer Robinson light them up. He threw for 440 yards in that game. Passes were open all over the middle of the field. I mean, they were having struggles there. I've listened to some podcasts from some Auburn people. They said that their secondary is still a work in progress. They played about 6 or 7 guys already in 3 games trying to figure out who the best people are, and they still haven't, seemed to be able to find that.
So you're over here scouting, not even on the payroll.
I'm doing my job, bro, for the podcast. I make sure I'm informed and ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to make sure I'm locked in.
You on the payroll if you know what I'm saying?
Hey, how do you know that I'm not on the payroll, man? Director of fandom. I've been trying to tell you. Director of fandom been in my DNA, man. I was just up there in Norman, you know what I'm saying? I did my little summer obligation, and then I'm back in Austin ready to roll.
How come I've never seen you at a game if you you know what I'm saying?
I'm at games. I go to Red River, you know what I'm saying? I go to the biggest one. Hey, go listen, bro. This is the way the schedule looks up, the way everything's all I do my job in Austin. I'm remote.
Ultimate fandom, you should be at the games. You should be leading the
right.
like in a high school,
right.
The people that start.
I'm the Texas charter. You know what I mean? I'm the Texas charter. I'm based here in Austin, where the school up in Austin plays. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I work remote. I do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And I get it done.
So as long as you get paid, is what you're saying. You'll.
Yeah. Allegedly, yeah. Allegedly.
A real fan is doing it for the money.
Oh, I'm definitely a real fan. Now look at you. Now look at you just trying to.
You get paid, you're good.
So if you listen.
Be good.
Listen. Anyways, back to the game and the scouting report. Carl's going to troll this week. It is what it is, man. And he probably troll in a couple weeks, or he might just be mute. I don't know. It just got to depend on what Sam Houston. Yeah, well, it depends on what Sam Houston does.
I mean, when you look against y'all, you already know what. I already said we're losing to y'all.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna say nothing, and we're just gonna see how it plays out.
I'll say it for you. I already know what you think. You don't have to tell me.
You're just trying to do some reverse. You're just trying to do some reverse jinxing over there, bro. I get it. I understand.
The way you've been talking about this team and this year, I already know. In your head, you're like, "Oh, we're gonna beat the brakes off them boys," and I can't wait because I'm gonna talk so much shit. I already know what you're thinking in your head.
Listen, bro. I just said it.
Say no with a straight face.
I just said we'll see. We'll see, bro.
Yeah,
we'll see.
And in the back of your head, like, bro, I cannot wait till we just beat the brakes off them boys. I'm coming after everybody.
My gosh.
We healthy. All those other years you won. Like, bro, I already know your story, bro. Like, I already know.
Hey, we'll see. Hopefully, we stay healthy. But going into some quick stats. Last year when we had Jackson Arnold as the QB, right? Total offense through 3 games, 325 yards per game, 33.7 points per game. A lot of that is inflated, especially the points per game, because we had 51 or 55 against Temple, but the defense also had 6 turnovers in that game. Yards per carry, 4.77. Passing offense, 166.3. But you talking about Jay, 400. Yards per completion, 8.75. Passing explosive plays, 4. Yards per play, 4.8. Third down conversion percentage, 30%. And then total penalties, team was undisciplined, 18 penalties. This year, total offense, 472.6 yards per game. That's with us playing the Michigan team that we didn't play last year. 33.7 points per game. Rushing offense.
He was putting up the points.
Bro, I just told you what they were doing. Against Tulane, they put up 30. Against Houston, they scored 16. And 2 of those was off a safety. So they really scored 2 touchdowns. I'm just telling you what happened. Yeah, it's inflated. It's a lot like y'all, you know what I'm saying? But yards per game or yards per carry, 4.1. Passing yards, 316.3, almost double what we were doing last year. Yards per completion, 13.1, because our guy processes, can throw it across the middle. Passing plays
just have better receivers this year than y'all did last year, so he'll set up for failure.
Like I said. He still had guys in some of those games. But anyways, yards per completion, 13.1. Explosive plays, 18. Just not even going to say nothing about that. Yards per play, 6.3.
Personnel last year. Like, what do you want?
Even when he had the personnel, he did. You know what I'm saying? He had the personnel against Temple. Couldn't move the ball against them. And they were worse last year. Third down conversion, 47.5. So almost at 50%. And then we have 14 penalties. So
also the play calling was horrible last year.
Not in those games, bro. He wasn't executing. There's people open all the time. Even Brendan Thompson's mom got on Twitter and was like, Yeah, we had to leave because he was open all the time. And sure enough, he goes over there with Mississippi State, Jeff Lebby going crazy, 100 yards a game. So the guys are open. The guys were open in the film. He was missing. He couldn't even run RPO concept. I'm not even bashing on. I'm just telling you what was going on the film. The film doesn't lie. Ben Arpog.
Was he there last year?
No.
Who was there last year?
Seth Luttrell.
So why is he not there this year?
We just upgrade. Simple as that.
Okay.
Simple as that. Jackson Arnold has a good OC right now, and they still ain't doing that. So I don't know, and they I don't know. Now we go into the matchup. Right. Scoring offense, Auburn is 41. Because they had to get in a shootout week 1 because their defense is horrible. In the secondary, at least they have a good D line. I'll give them that. Our scoring offense 56.
D line. A lot of jokes aside, they have a great D line.
Yeah, they have a good D line. Scoring defense, they're 31. Ain't playing no comp besides Baylor. We're 4. Passing offense efficiency, they're 64. We're 56. Their passing defense. This is the one that sticks out. The one I was telling you about. You were texting me during the Baylor game. BBQ chicken, just running around. They just 117 in passing defense.
Babies were getting fried.
We're number 1 in passing defense. So that is a matchup that I look for us to exploit. I was texting you some stuff for chips and slips. I won't be tailing it, because superstitious. But I'm just telling you for the community, if you guys want to make some money this weekend. Rushing offense efficiency, because that's all they can do. They're number 4. That's really good. We're 54. Rush defense efficiency, they're 12 or 37. Really, a lot of that is inflated because of that explosive run where we misfit and lined up wrong against Michigan. Third down offense, they're 17. It looks like they get ahead of the chains a lot because they run so much. So they got a lot of 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 2s, manageable situations, which tells me that they're obviously putting Jackson in a great spot to succeed. But it also tells me that they do not want him behind the chains at all because they that's when they know that's where their weaknesses are. We're 37. Third down offense, they're 17. We're 37. Third down defense, they're 34. We're number 4. Explosive plays on offense. See, this tells the tale of the tape how they're getting in these short third downs, but they're 77th in explosive plays. We're 11, and then they also give up a ton of explosives on defense, 72, and we're 26. So I love the numbers. I love where we sit. We match up well with them. This is a great test, though. Like I said, Cam Coleman is a day 1 guy. Nick Singleton is a dog as well. So they got some receivers. We'll see how they match up. I like the running back as well. But I'm excited for this game. I think Arbuckle will have some stuff ready to go and attack them where they're weak. And I think Brent Venables is already gonna be in his bag. So yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of the Sooners and Auburn. The things I want to see is I just want to see us run the ball efficiently. And I would like for Mateer to not have to run as much because I don't think he will, because I just think we can just attack them through the air. So I don't really think we need to run him like that. I'm not saying he won't get involved, but he don't need no 18, 20 carries. He needs probably like anywhere from like 8 to 10 max. And a lot of that stuff you can kind of add in because he will scramble and stuff like that just comes with it. But I'm talking about design runs, does not need a lot of those. So, yeah. On to some other news.
Last week. That's still kind of a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Not that. That's kind of where he should be. I think every game, unless it's just like you got like a Texas, it's all off the table. You know what I'm saying? Like a game like that where it's like you must win, or like big games. Like I don't really care as long as we win. But obviously, like against certain teams, you don't really. If you don't need to do that, then don't do it as an offense. But on to some other news. There's a couple of stories. UCLA, fire their coach. Virginia Tech fire their coach. Something I wanted to ask you, because I was listening to JD Pickell. He was talking about like coaches maybe being interested in that Virginia Tech job because they have the resources. The ACC is kind of open. Virginia Tech really was the Clemson of last decade.
While we're making this episode, there's breaking news. NCAA eliminates spring transfer portal window for football.
Nice. So only one in the winter.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. It's good because you really got to know what you're doing in the portal in the winter, and also it limits guys for getting butthurt if they don't win the job in spring and leave. Because it does put not QBs, it does put teams in disarray. Like we saw BYU. I mean, they're looking fine right now, but like
47.
Them having Retzlaff makes that team a lot different. It makes them a contender in the Big 12. I'm not saying they can't do it this season, but I just
because look at Tulane.
It ain't the same. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It ain't the same. And like Tulane was able to get him. Even look at Tennessee. Nico transferred in the spring, and Joey Aguilar transferred in the spring. So it's like stuff like that won't happen, right? Like Nico could still be at Tennessee. The game last week does not look the same with Nico. I think me and you both know that. We've already seen him play.
Yeah.
And yeah, but no, they were just talking about like some coaches that might be interested in the job and some names I thought were interesting. They mentioned a Will Stein. I don't know if he'll leave the West Coast just because it's far from where he's at and kind of his recruiting footprint in Texas. But they mentioned Michael Vick, especially if he gets more coaching experience, just giving it a shot, just because they saw kind of what Dion did for like, even if it doesn't work out, just like what it does for a program. They also mentioned John Gruden. He's been wanting to get back into coaching. That would spark program, hype and things like that. And then another candidate I really liked was Brian Hartline. Not super far from Ohio State. Don't think Ryan Day's leaving anytime soon. He's already getting this experience as a play caller. We know his pedigree as a wide receiver developer. He's probably the best in our lifetime. So they just kind of mentioned some names, but Virginia Tech, that's a school that when we were growing up was Clemson of now. They maybe weren't winning the natties and stuff, but they were, it was every year in the ACC, Florida State, Virginia Tech. It was always those two that were competing for the conference. So it's not like it's a school that doesn't know what it looks like. They haven't done it recently, but I think they're going to make the necessary moves. The problem is you have them firing their coach and you have UCLA firing their coach, which is another story. I mean, I think UCLA right now, it's probably not even a top 40 job in college football. I mean, if you look at other Power 4 conferences, they probably have the worst home field atmosphere in college football, even though they play in the best stadium. Nobody goes to the games. They damn near put the UCLA signage on the bleachers, and they're in LA dealing with all these major league teams plus USC. Could they be good? Yes. I think they got to do a lot of things over there. But for both teams, long story short, they both fire their coaches in the middle of the season. Now the portal's open for these players. And as a college player, if you don't think you're going to go to the NFL, your opportunity of your highest earning is right now. So like you can't expect these guys when their coach leaves in the middle of the year, you still got 9 games to play to stick it out and play. I mean, if you have an opportunity to transfer and redshirt and save a year eligibility, if like you're not going to have a coach or what the situation is. So I thought the firings were appropriate. I would probably the UCLA one. I thought Sean Foster, he'd only been there literally not even 2 years. He was recruiting well. I think like they had 8 decommits in the last week. And like most of those guys were 4-stars. So I'm like, he's clearly like, he was a Bruin. He's clearly recruiting well. He's clearly doing what it takes. Like that might've just been somebody you just had to like give some time, just to get his.
They were DC too today.
Yeah, that just might be somebody you had to get some time, bring in his guys and kind of right the ship, especially because he was a Bruin. Like, he cares about the school. With Brent Pry, okay, I understand it. But even then, it's like, I feel like you just got to wait to the end of the year because
damn Virginia Tech, man.
Because now, bro, yeah, that was not good.
Oh, my God. It wasn't even close. 38-7.
No, it wasn't close at all. Bro. But yeah, even now, bro, like you fire a coach like in the middle of the year with the portal and all these things, like it's like just fire them at the end of the year. Like you got to be strategic unless they think they can go hire someone now. But like all the coaches that are probably prime candidates are all coaching right now. They all have John Summerall at Tulane, the coach at USF. You got all these other names I mentioned, all these coordinators and stuff, but they're not really worried about taking a job right now. This is going to be later on, and maybe they want to get ahead of it because maybe they think, Florida fires their coach, Kentucky fires their coach, maybe. So maybe they think there's going to be some better job openings. So they want to kind of start their search early. But even then, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I feel for those kids and the fan bases because it's like we're already losing now. Like it could be way worse depending on how quickly both programs move. So
let me ask you this. If you're Clark Lee, do you take that job?
Which one?
Man, Virginia Tech.
I say yes.
Me too.
Because I say yes because the conference is easier. That's one. And then 2, it is Virginia Tech. If they get rid of the athletic director, because I think this athletic director, he's already made 3 coaching hires. That's kind of insane for most athletic directors. Like they probably need to just clear house completely and bring in somebody that's new, innovative, and kind of how y'all did with Del Conte. Like, you guys were kind of going through your struggles. You bring in Del Conte, you bring in Sark, you bring in all these other coaches for the other athletic teams, and now Texas is pretty much back in every sport. I mean, y'all are getting basically everything and competing in every sport right at a high level. So I look at it as, I think that's kind of got to be the move. If I'm Clark Lee, it just kind of depends, because what if that Florida job opens? Like, yeah, you're still in the SEC, but it's Florida, bro. Like, Florida is
How
is
many
is a.
coaches do you think are gonna want to deal with Florida though? Like, yeah, it's Florida, but like the expectations you have because it's Florida and how short of a leash you have, is it worth it?
I mean, I think they just got to be transparent with the guys, because I think Billy's gotten plenty of time. Like, this being his fourth year, the roster is good. Like, you can't say the roster isn't good there. They have the quarterback, but you can't lose the USF. Like, you just can't. You're at Florida. That's like Texas losing to UTSA. Like, yeah, UTSA is a good program in Texas, but they're not on the same level as Texas. So
Yeah.
you just can't lose that game. I don't care who you are. You're going to have the best players in the state usually. So yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I don't know. I think like Clark Lee will be called. I know he played at Vanderbilt and stuff, but can Vanderbilt give him the resources to arm him with the necessary power to compete year in and year out?
That was mainly
Because
my
Pavia
thing.
is kind of like the main reason. Like, I'm not saying he's the main reason, but like, he is a massive reason of why they're relevant right
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
And can you get him every year? I don't know.
And that was more of what it was. It's like Vanderbilt's never gonna. I'm not gonna say never, but at least in our lifetime, I don't think Vanderbilt will compete for anything in the SEC as far as football goes. Why, when you've proven what you can do, maybe that might be success to Pavia. Maybe it might not be. Maybe it's you. But either way, it's proven that you can turn a program around, so to say. So why not go to the easier conference and try to go win in there? And if you do win in there, I think that's when you can start, like, becoming like a bigger school. Name, I guess, like
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean, I
trying
don't
to
think
think.
any of the schools did anytime soon. Maybe Ole
There was
Miss.
only real one school, which we'll get to
Maybe Ole
next.
Miss.
Yeah, but even then, like,
Because I could
I
see
guess, like, are you saying like moving up in like college football tiers, like expectations?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like maybe
I'd probably say
like
them and Clemson, because like they
yeah,
weren't
and
doing
that's
anything.
not
And
because I mean I think they should, but that's not because Ole Miss is gonna fire Lane Kiffin, but it's probably because Lane Kiffin will take the Florida job. Like that's probably the front runner for that job.
yeah, if it becomes available, I mean, you got to give him a call. I mean, you've seen what he's done at Ole Miss. Ole Miss isn't Florida. Like, yeah, they're good right now, but they have never won natties. They haven't, they don't have
Yeah,
that pedigree that Florida has.
they haven't even been to an
So,
SEC championship.
so yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I mean, it also goes to the point too, like, they were saying, what if Shane Beamer got fired from South Carolina, even though he does have them in a good spot? And like, yeah, they lost, but they were like, what if you entice him to, hey, come back to Virginia Tech? Your dad's. The only problem is you have your dad's legacy and stuff, and like what he did there.
I wouldn't do that. If
I
I'm
wouldn't
him,
do
I
it
wouldn't
either.
go there.
No, I mean, he even said in the SEC show, like, he was like, I wanted to go to South Carolina so I could build my own legacy. And South Carolina isn't a program that has been historically great. So, that's the problem too, when these coaches build up expectations at these schools, and they aren't performing at the levels they've been able to in the past. A lot of these fan bases, they don't remember. And I kind of think this is a great transition to Dabo at his press conference this week. I mean, he went on a tangent. One of the, it's a great answer when the dude mentions his age, right? I'm a man. I'm 40. That boy said, I'm 55. I'll go somewhere else and win. I ain't going to the beach. So, that goes to say, like, before Dabo took over Clemson, I mean, I actually, I think I bookmarked it or I retweeted it, but it was somebody put out a tweet about Dabo before he took the job. And I was just like, bro, night and day. Like, people don't realize what they had at Clemson. Dang, where is it at? Hold on. Dabo. I got to find it, because they properly broke it down. Like, it was, everything he had done, or like what he's like, what's been the difference. Here it is. Here it is. People seem to forget what Clemson football looked like before Dabo took over. Clemson without Dabo pre 2009, last 10-win season 1990, last ACC championship 1991. They only had one appearance in the four major bowl games, and that was in 81 and 82. And their last national championship was in 81, 82. Then when Dabo gets there, 2009 present, he has 13 10-win seasons, won the ACC 9 times, been to a New Year's Six or BCS 14 times, been to the playoffs 7 times. Only Alabama has more in that span. National championship appearances 4. Only Alabama has more in that span. National championships 2. Only Alabama has more in that span with 3. So it's like he completely took Clemson way up the echelon. Like Clemson is, when we talk about Clemson, that they are, they were the other Alabama outside before Georgia started getting on their run. Like they were the other school that was actually able to knock off Bama, in the time Saban was there. So I think that was the first time I ever saw like that get to Dabo, for him to mention stuff like that. Cause hey, he said, he kind of put it out there like, look, if y'all want me gone and, I'm not living up to the expectations that he has set, who knows? What if Dabo goes to Florida or something? Like what? It's not impossible. So
yeah, that's just the thing though. Like you set that expectation. So like that's what they have. And you also had expectations of this year of being one of the best teams in college football, and it's been the complete opposite. The other thing that's going against you is you don't use the portal and you don't use NIL to your ability.
that is the problem.
That I'm sure Clemson has money and I'm sure Clemson has resources, so there's no reason for you not to utilize those. So I think just with that, like you having the expectation of being one of the best teams in the country, if not the best, and you not utilizing the portal to your advantage and NIL, I think those are the two biggest things that fans and just different people around the country are nagging at him at, because it's like, why would you not use that to benefit your team? And why are we regressing from last year when we have arguably a better team this year?
Yeah, and even going into recruiting, like I'm on 247 and I'm looking at their classes, like their last top 5 classes, and especially with his method, you would like, it's like, okay, I get your method if you're bringing in top 5 classes every season, right? Even 5 to 10, but after 2021, that class was top 5. 2020 was 2020, or 2020 was number 3. In 2022, he was 14 in recruiting. And then I go to in 2023, he was 14 as well. And then 2024, 15. And then last year, 28. And then if you go to this year, where he's at right now, he's 15. So you're going from compiling talent at the levels of Oregon, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, right? Those type of programs that are, I would say are like kind of the front runners in college football as of late. You're going from compiling that kind of level of talent to acquiring talent of, let's say, like a South Carolina, right? A school that kind of recruit, like for them, South Carolina recruiting anywhere from 15 to 10 is great. You're going from doing that when you have the pedigree you do. And I don't know if that's because of his model or if that's because of the NIL and not wanting to utilize it the right way. But even then, it's like, even if you aren't recruiting at that level, that's what the portal's for. Look at Oklahoma as a reference, right? Like we were recruiting pretty well. Like we're in the top 10, top 8, kind of, best class of Brent Venables was number 6. But, we're finishing with like top 5 portal classes as well to supplement that. So it kind of offsets where you really fall. And then you're also getting a lot of guys that are ready to play right away, ready to contribute right away. And, I respect him. He does things his way. He wants to do it his way. He still made the playoffs last year his way, so it's working to an extent, but he's kind of, it's definitely, teams are getting better and Clemson's kind of just staying where they're at.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. I think like if he was doing everything necessary and they were losing, okay, like that's another story. But I think a lot of people are frustrated because he's just in his ways and he won't adapt all the way. So
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they finish off the rest of the year, man. I feel like they can only spring forward. I feel like they're the lowest they can get right now. So um, hopefully stuff looks up for them, man. I think Dabo's a great coach, and it's like, why would you not want to go play at Clemson? For one, you know you're in the SEC. You're still on a Power Four, but like if you go to Clemson, you know you're going to compete for at least a playoff, or a conference chip in a playoff. Like, why would you not want to do that? Like,
Yeah,
Clemson's
they
in
were
a good
doing it year in,
situation.
year in,
Yeah.
and year out, and now I feel like with NIL and this new era, Clemson isn't like the hot new school, right? Like they were like, oh, Clemson came out of nowhere. They're winning natties. They're competing for natties. Like they're putting people in the NFL. Now, they're not doing that, and you got other teams that are maybe they haven't won, but you got a team like Oregon who's like always been
LSU.
shiny, always been always been the top dog and in their respective area. And now they're also paying, they got the national relevance. These teams are accumulating talent at a rate that Clemson cannot keep up with if they want to contend like they usually do. And it's even showing in the ACC. I mean, they're losing games like 10 years ago. You would be mesmerized if you saw them lose into like Georgia Tech. You'd be like, that doesn't happen there, So it's interesting for sure.
Yeah. And that's another coach who can get caught up. What? We forgot to mention his name.
Yeah, Brent Key. I think he's going to stick it out just because he's from there and he's building it up. But hey, if the money's calling, if the resources are better, it's
Yeah.
tough, bro. I mean, you can go into these other schools where they have these built legacies and this history and tradition, or you could just build it out at a school, kind of like Dabo did, or like a Gundy, and you're like the best coach there. And then, if you get your team to a certain level and your fans get used to it, and then you kind of get taken aback because you're not at these certain schools, then it comes with, I guess, the territory Gundy and I would say Dabo are dealing with right now. So
Yeah. But yeah, man. Hopefully they turn it around. But on to the week 4 matchups. We'll run through these really quick. Um, Big week for y'all. We already touched on y'all's game. I don't know if you want to touch
yeah,
on it again, but 3:30
nah,
ABC, OU and Auburn. Jet A400. You already know how we rocking. Finna get me a shirt made. But early kickoff. This is an early kickoff for Utah as well. So
10 a.m.
it's gonna be surprising to see how they
McDonald's breakfast still gonna be going on when they kick off.
absolutely. Come on, man. And so we got to see how it's looking over there. But you got Texas Tech versus Utah. This is going to be a great one, man. Tech is both of these teams are really, I would say, the top 2 favorites to win the conference.
Yeah, I would say now, especially because
Yeah,
Utah, like I think every time Utah has a QB, they're legit. I mean, they're going
yeah,
to be well coached. The last couple of years, they've had some down years, but they look good, and they did a similar situation as what OU did. They brought in the quarterback and the coordinator, so you already have so many components that you don't really have to
that chemistry
reteach,
goes a long way.
and it trickles down to the team, and they're playing great football. They look great, bro.
They
They
look
look
good.
explosive.
Defense looks good.
Yeah,
Now you're facing an offense that can go put up points at will. So it'll be fun to see the clash of the Titans in this one.
early
Yeah,
test. I mean, Tech too. They spent all that money. Like this is like you can keep spending money, but if you are spending money and not winning these type of games, like how long does that work?
yeah.
You know?
So, um, I don't know how much the time will affect them, both teams. I feel like it'll affect more of Utah than it does Tech, but I wish this game was at night. That would have been dope.
Would have been that. I mean, it deserved it. I think.
Yeah, so no, I mean we start off the night. I mean the day with the banger, and you can't ask better than that.
No.
Going on to the next, Arkansas at Memphis. I think this will probably be just one of those games that's high scoring. I think you're just going to see a lot of offense in this game. This would be a big win for Memphis. For Memphis, and have this on the resume. Yeah,
Yeah.
Arkansas is not ranked, but they're still a good team, and they're still a team that can probably hang with the majority of the teams in the nation,
Yeah.
just from an offensive standpoint.
Their offense is great. Taylor Green looks really good right
Yeah,
now.
so if they can secure this W and add it to their resume, I mean, you have South Florida who's like sneaking up, and they already have 2 quality wins on their resume. So this is the type of game that you're going to need if you want to make that college football playoff push.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I'm right there with you. I think Memphis is a team that I kind of in the offseason was like kind of my dark horse group of 5 team to make the playoffs. but obviously USF came out strong, and they're both in the same conference, right? So I think they play each other this year. You're gonna have a chance to play them, but also at the same time, like you want to build it, you want to get this on your resume. You want to be able to take care of business. You got them at home. It's early. Arkansas is coming off a tough loss on the road, against Ole Miss, and then I don't know if Arkansas plays. When do they play Notre Dame? Is
I'm not
that
too
soon?
sure.
Let me see.
I think it's like week
Yeah, they play
6
next
or
week.
week 5. Yeah.
They play next week. So this could be a look ahead spot a little bit for Arkansas. You obviously lost to Ole Miss. You got a good G5 team. So like I'm not saying they're not going to be prepared or take it seriously, but Notre Dame on the schedule at home, that looks, that's definitely in their minds, so
Yeah. Like I said, 2:30 ABC, Auburn at Oklahoma. That's going to be a great one. We already talked about it, so don't got to touch too much on that. But another game that's going to be on ESPN at 2:30, which I think is another great matchup, and I think it's
mm-hmm,
going to be another just straight offensive play only. Um,
mm-hmm.
you know, Ole Miss has a great offense that I don't think a group of 5 team like Tulane will be able to keep up with. But then on the flip side, you have Ole Miss's defense who can't stop a nosebleed. So, and Tulane has a lot of great talent on the offense, and like you mentioned, they have the quarterback
Well
from
coached.
BYU,
Mm-hmm.
and he seems to be doing that thing over there. And I mean, hey, again, this is a team. This is a game that Tulane's going to want to have on their resume.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have it as a great win, not a great loss. So
And they already beat Duke,
they
so
already
like
beat Duke. Yep. So if they want to keep that train rolling, man, it starts here. But hey, will not look good for Ole Miss if they lose.
no, it won't, and it won't look good for the SEC too. Like we
Yeah,
just can't lose
no,
these games for
yeah.
both teams. I mean, I'd rather them win, but like honestly, don't care because we love chaos. But I would rather them win because there has been talks about is the SEC really as good as the Big Ten getting better? So I want just for our sake, I just want our teams to handle business at a conference. So whenever because teams are going to lose in the SEC, so whenever that happens, I don't want them to be like, oh, we're going to take this 10-2 Indiana or 10-2 Illinois over a 9-3, Oklahoma or Texas who played better teams all year. Like that will be a discussion if they lose these type of games, these teams at a
Absolutely.
conference. So
And speaking on the Big Ten, no offense to you, but I think more of the game that everybody wants to see. Michigan at Nebraska. Everybody's been talking highly about Nebraska. Is this year
the Bussin'
Nebraska do
Bowl.
it? The Bussin' Bowl. Is this the year that Nebraska's gonna do it? Is this where they get over the hump? They have the pieces, or is it just like a letdown year? Like man, this ain't the year, man. Hey, Michigan comes in and takes the victory.
Yeah, man, it's
It's gonna be
a
a fun one, man. I think this is gonna be a great defensive battle.
yeah. I've been going back and forth. I think it's gonna be that. I also could see it being a shootout, kind of like I think both teams have quarterbacks that can make it happen. And the thing is, I think for Matt Rule, this is the game, right? We've been talking about it all off season. Year 3, Matt Rule, he's a program builder. He turns programs around. You got Nebraska or you got Michigan at home, and you're playing against a freshman quarterback who's this will be his 4th start, so he's still relatively young. Obviously, he's very talented and has been improving each week. But also the other caveat is Sharon Moore is out again. He's not coaching in this game, so you got all these in your favor at home, freshman quarterback, no head coach. Like
And
Matt Rule's got to have it because after this game, it's pretty smooth sailing for Nebraska in the Big Ten. I think you're staring 11-1 right in the face. I think the only tough game they have, I don't know if they go to Oregon
they're still the
or
underdog in this game.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. Matt Rule, if they win this game, they're gonna put out his pregame hype speech, being a dog at home to a team with no head
I
coach and a
mean,
freshman
there's
QB.
no reason they should. If they win this game, there's no reason they shouldn't be undefeated going to Penn State.
The
Michigan
USC
State,
game will be tough
USC,
on
but
them.
it's home. Like you have
Yeah, but
that.
it's
It's
home. Like,
home,
yeah.
and the fans this year for Nebraska are backing them heavy. Like they're going
Yeah.
to be at the game. They're going to be routing.
Hmm.
But
And that's the thing. Yeah.
You have
Go
Michigan
ahead.
State. You're at Maryland. You're at Minnesota. Minnesota game might be a little scary. You know how that gets going over there,
Yeah,
especially at
yeah,
night. Woo.
yeah.
And it's gonna be cold. Woo.
They just play teams well for sure.
And
Yeah,
then you play Northwestern. You have USC at home, at UCLA, at Penn State, and it off with Iowa.
and even if they win this game,
They
I
could
feel
lose to Penn
like
State and they're fine.
you could lose two. I think they'd be okay, but you lose to the right two, lose USC and Penn State. I don't think it hurts
It
them
just
too bad.
depends on how USC's looking, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if USC is nice, like if they keep winning, okay, then it won't look as bad. But I think this is the one you had to have early to kind of give you that momentum and also show your program and your fans that, hey, the ship is turning over here in Nebraska. Like Nebraska is they're a blue blood. Like people, always joke around borderline blue blood, but like what they've done from the 70s, winning two natties and then winning three in the 90s, this is a team that I want them to be good again. It's good to see a team in the Midwest like that be a force how they were, right? And I think Matt Rule is the coach for the job, the right coach for the job, and they got the schedule this year. Like this is everything's aligning for them. Freshman coach, or freshman, the new or no coach at home, easier schedule after this. Like this is the chance. You also have Raiola in that 5-star, the 5-star QB he is. This is second year, you get some momentum this year. What's to say next year you're not a favorite, to win the Big Ten? Will you bring Raiola back and you have a good season this year? So I think it's a huge game just for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, man. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, but I feel like all eyes in America are going to be on this game just because they want to see, is Nebraska really the truth? Like everybody's, talking them to be. I don't see it being a shootout just because from an offensive standpoint, both the teams with the personnel that they have, I just don't think that it's possible. Michigan's defense it's still good, I mean, yes, y'all gave them a lot, but like they still somewhat contained y'all to an extent. Um, Someone for a team that doesn't have half of the firepower you'll have on offense, I just can't see a shootout. Me
No, for
personally.
sure. Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
same thing on the flip side with Michigan's offense. Like we saw in the Oklahoma game, if you shut down the receivers, man, all they had to be able to do was run.
Yeah, and I think too they got to call Bryce Underwood's number early and often. Like we saw him run last week against Michigan State. They need to run him this game. Like his legs are a weapon, and that just gives Nebraska something else to think about.
Yeah.
The fans are seeing him running around and stuff like, oh damn, like he can run too. Like that might affect them a little bit. So I think they got to do that.
So if you're just having to stop the run, um, that shouldn't be hard to do coming from a defensive minded head coach. So
Yeah, 100%.
just me personally, I just can't see a shootout. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be a banger, man. I haven't decided if I'll be home or not, but
Yeah. So, yeah. The slate is looking
so that's all.
looking good, bro.
Might have to say, Danny, sorry, buddy. But 6 p.m. kickoff, ESPN, and all these times that are saying are central. So if you can do the math and the zones and whatnot, you'll know your time. But I'm sure you already know. But 6 p.m. Kickoff, ESPN. I think this is a huge bounce back game for Shane Beamer and Carolina. It seems like Norris might be able to give it a go in this one. They said they have high talks at practice, and he's looking good. So we'll see. But South Carolina at Missouri. Missouri's surprising me a lot this year. I did not think that they're going to have this type of year. The biggest test was Kansas, and they were down. And they came back and they took care of business. I mean, they made the adjustments that they needed to and came back and won the game. They won it convincingly. They won by double digits. So it's a huge game for South Carolina. If you want to keep the playoff hopes alive, this is kind of where it starts. You'll have a ranked win under your belt, conference win at that. And for Missouri, if you as well want to keep these talks alive and you as well want to be known as a team that can compete with the big dogs, as your coach likes to say, you know what I'm saying? beat OU last year. Big win. Um, you got to win this game, especially if the starting quarterback's out. You're at home.
Yeah,
Your fans are crazy. It's going to be loud there. You got to take care of business. Yeah, I mean,
their schedule is crazy, bro. I just
yes,
looked it
sir.
up. They have 6 home games in a row. So they
Okay,
play
well,
this game.
they only got
Yes, they
Miami
play.
schedule.
They play this game, and then they got UMass at home, and then they got Missouri at home. Then they go to Auburn, then they go to Vanderbilt, then they got A&M at home, then they got Mississippi State at home, then they go to OU, then they go to Arkansas. So like the way their schedule lines up, like they have a chance to make it into the SEC championship and into the playoff just due to the way the teams line up. Like yes, they have some tough road tests. Like don't get me wrong, but I mean
Who are the road test?
us, Vandy, Auburn, but then you get
I mean,
then you get A&M at home.
Vandy,
And,
Auburn,
and
those three.
Arkansas.
So
But then you
three out of the
get
four
8.
teams are
Yeah, go ahead.
beatable. I got home.
Can they beat those teams on the
The
road?
three out of the four teams you just named are beatable at home.
Yeah, I guess.
Like a
Yeah,
game on the road.
yeah,
Like, they can beat Arkansas on the road.
yeah.
They
I
can
mean, they beat us
Vandy on
last
the
year.
road.
Don't think
The
they
only team
will,
that they're not
but
going to beat on the road is y'all. That's why I say 3 out of the 4.
yeah.
All the other 3 they could easily beat at home.
And then they got
y'all probably not.
Missouri or not Missouri. But you get Alabama and A&M at home. You're avoiding. Yes, you got to go to Oklahoma, but you're avoiding Georgia, LSU, and Texas. You know, you don't got to play those teams. They got blessed. So hopefully, I
And
mean, hopefully they take advantage.
Just say it doesn't get corrected.
Mm-hmm.
The way A&M's defense is looking, that could be a coin flip. That game could be a shootout.
Shootout. I mean, even Alabama. I mean, I know they're looking better, but
we just got to see more of them, man. We can't jump
it's
the
still
gun too
Bama.
early.
It's still Bama. It's still Bama. Yeah. So, but yeah, but you get them at home. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, it's interesting, you know, like just looking at that. That's something that's not being talked about, and I think that's why a lot of people were picking Missouri to like make the playoff or do well in the SEC because I never really looked at their schedule. Bro, 6 home games in a row is insane. How do you even get
just
that?
Better than y'all coach, man. There's no reason to hate.
Nah, they just getting blessed, bro. It is what it is. I can't wait till that schedule flips.
Anyways, should be another banger 6 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. You literally get banger into a banger. I mean, you get Tulane Ole Miss and South Carolina. Obviously, I mean, we want Lenore Seller to play because you want the best people on the field, especially for this game because it has a lot of implications, to be honest with you. And it's week 4. But, I mean, if you can't give it a go, you can't give it a go, which will suck. But all good. 6:30 kickoff, NBC. I mean, hey, these are the teams that kind of flipping the script, man. You got Illinois at Indiana. It's at Indiana.
I think Indiana's favored.
Indiana, I could tell you right now.
I think they're favored 5.5.
I think I could tell you that right now. Indiana is favored 5.5, at least on ESPN. I haven't looked at FanDuel.
Yeah.
But at least on ESPN
But still.
right now, they are favored 5.5. This is going to be a fun one. A lot of people are calling Illinois the Indiana last year.
Big games for both of them. Huge games for both of them. Obviously, the schedule for Indiana is not as friendly as Illinois'. I think Indiana has to go to – I know they go to Oregon. Yeah, Indiana goes to Oregon. They also go to Iowa, which, you know – but they go to Oregon, and then they go to Penn State. So, you know – and then on the flip side, for Illinois, they go to, let's see their schedule. Illinois, they got USC at home. They got Ohio State at home. They go to Washington. That's sneaky. But then everyone else, they're very beatable. So it's like, you win this game, kind of similar to Nebraska, Illinois. You're probably staring 11-1 in the face, 10-2, you know, at the worst. Indiana, you know, I think you gotta win this game just because you go to Oregon and to Penn State, and those are 2 very hard places to play with very good teams. So, you know, for both teams to try to make a playoff, this is massive. And I think, and everyone's always like, oh, college football, you know, the playoffs expanding. Bro, this is a playoff game right here. You know, it really is. Like, this is a team, like, you know, like, I think the loser of this game, their playoff chances will be mainly for Indiana, just because their schedule is kind of brutal, will be kind of erased. I think Illinois, you can lose this game and go 11-1, but then I think there will be arguments. It's like, well, who they beat? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's exciting. Indiana, I'm impressed with them. They really look like they haven't dropped off like at all since the season. I mean, and I know they haven't played anyone, but Kirk Cinetti, he said he wins. Indiana is becoming one of the tougher places to play. I mean, that team believes they just made it to the playoffs last year.
Google me, man.
So in Illinois, Brent Bielema, you feel like you got a QB that, I don't think he is a Heisman level player statistically, but like if they win, he could easily be in New York if he has a good season this year.
Yeah.
So,
and it sounds like he wanted to play for him and play there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people calling his phone, and Brent said,
yeah, saying they were offering him $2 million.
Yeah, he's wanting to stay there. So, hey, I want Illinois to win. I just think it'll be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool, man. They haven't been good since Rashard Mendenhall and Juice Williams back in the day, 2007, when they went to the Rose Bowl. So, yeah, it'd be cool, man. It'd be cool to see another team like that, kind of get some national spotlight. I mean, they're ranked in the top 10, right? So this could solidify them as a top 10 team and a playoff team. And the media was high on Illinois all offseason. So we'll really see what it looks like on Saturday. Yeah.
As the same time as that game, 6:30 on Fox. Arizona State, Baylor, man. Another huge game with implications, man. It's week 4, and we already have these games that have literally playoff eliminators. I see at least 1, 2.
Yeah,
3,
1, 2,
3.
couple. Couple. I mean, especially if some of these teams lost out of conference, so it's not hurting them too badly. But if you do like lose a conference game early when you already lost out of conference, you really got to run the table. Like you really have no margin for a victory, and it just hurts. For example, this game, it would just hurt the Big 12. I mean, Baylor and Arizona State both lost out of conference.
Both
Baylor did get
SEC teams.
Yeah, and Baylor did get a nice win against SMU.
But look, SMU, I'm pretty sure
they're not that good. They almost lost. They were losing to Missouri State.
Yeah, that's
last week. They won, but they were losing.
Yeah,
they won by 18, but it didn't look like that. I did not. I saw it on the TV. I was like, bro, they really losing to them? But they were down 10-0. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see this game. Baylor has them at home. It's a big game for them. Arizona State, they're kind of the favorite for the Big 12, and they lose up in Stark Vegas. Tough loss for them, but this game has shootout written all over it. Big 12 type of game.
Maybe because it seems that Arizona State doesn't
their
have
defense
the
is
offense
yeah
that they had last year. They have the receiver who's a monster, but like if you take him away, what is their offense? They it seemed like as of now, it seems like the offense was a lot of Cam Scatterbo. Like you had to.
They've been running more though.
No,
lately,
just the impact that he had on the game. Not the utilization of running back, just the impact that he had on the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's interesting too, because like last week against Texas State, Jordan Tyson, receiver, had 105, 1 touchdown, and the Raleek Brown, transfer from USC, former 5-star, was committed to OU at one point. He had 144 on the ground, 1 touchdown. So it looks like his talent is starting to mesh with what they're trying to do at Arizona State. That's save it for another show, but that's someone to look out for in this game, because we just saw what Baylor, their defense isn't great. We just saw them get gashed on the ground against Auburn. So maybe if Arizona State kind of starting to lean on their running game a little bit more, maybe that could be something that you would want to do, especially because Baylor's offense is super explosive. I mean, Sawyer Robinson is throwing the ball all over the field. And I think like that might need to be the game plan for Arizona State, just try to limit possessions and run the ball if you feel like you can. And you feel like Baylor can't stop it,
And they already have a come from behind win.
Yeah.
Almost 2.
Yeah, no doubt.
Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Baylor goes down 14 or 10, like they're still well in the game. Their offense is very explosive, very explosive. So that's a great game, on Fox. Loaded slate this weekend for real.
Slate.
Yeah.
I'm just like looking at the rest of the game, see if there's any other like, oh, that's a good game. So far I haven't found any, but uh, yeah, I think this is gonna be a big one. I think the loser of this game is gonna be eliminated from the playoffs, unfortunately. Um, I just don't like. Yes, it's out of
Unless they
conference.
win the Big 12.
I don't see any of these teams winning the Big 12. In my opinion, it's Tech, Utah, or BYU.
I would say Tech, Utah, Baylor, TCU. I
I'm
like
not giving it to
TCU.
Baylor or TCU just because
Iowa
Tech,
State,
Tech
but I just don't think they have the offense
no.
to get it done.
Uh, Utah and BYU have the best defenses. Utah's the most complete team. Tech can just go and score at will, and then BYU has a really good defense. So I think they keep the games competitive.
Tech has
Um,
a good D line. I'll give them that. I think they had a lot of 2 and 3 depth guys that aren't even starting on the or first starters last year that are now 2 and 3s because they spent so much money in the portal. That's what I've heard. So
yeah. Caught a game that I found a game that caught my eye. Hey, you might want to drink some energy drinks on this one. Fresno State at Hawaii.
what
10,
time does that game start at
10:59
midnight?
kickoff.
Damn.
Yeah, 10:59 kickoff.
Damn. Damn.
Doesn't have a channel, so I don't know how to watch it. Oh,
CW.
the MWN app, Mountain West app, I guess.
Mountain West app. There you go.
Or Script Sports,
There you go.
or Spectrum Sports Network, or
There you
allegedly.
go. Is that your underrated game of the week?
Oh, am I? I mean, yeah, probably, but yeah, that's a cool one. Um, but yeah, I think it's a title a playoff eliminator. I just don't think you can lose out of conference the way you did. Yeah, I know Baylor lost week 1, and it's you never know with this committee as well. So if you're also going off the eye test, struggled at SMU, and they're struggling as of now, and then Arizona State lost to the team that's supposed to be last in the SEC. So, with both y'all having, one loss out of conference, and then your one loss in conference with a conference that's such a cannibalized conference when they'll play each other, I just don't. I just can't this early. I just can't see it. I feel like you're bound to lose again at some point.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, the Big 12 is just literally a coin flip
Yeah.
league.
So
And there's a team that was at the top like last year that didn't do well, and that's looking like K-State. And there's going to be some team at the bottom, maybe Arizona. I don't know. I'm just saying they are 3-0 that could, be a contender, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see.
Yeah. So,
Good to see.
this is. I think we're going to say this kind of week to week at this point. That's a must win for Dave Miranda.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. I mean, you got him at home. You picked up a good win, but you need to get off to a good start in conference play, and you got to beat a team that you feel like you have a shot against. And you feel like you have the team. I know Arizona State is talented. I know they went to the playoff last year, but he's gotta get some momentum going, and it would start this week because I would say they can drop this game and be okay just because it is a better team in the Big 12. But like we just said, the league is such a coin flip league. Like anybody literally can beat you any week in this league. Yep. Besides, I would say maybe Oklahoma State and K-State. But it's still K-State. Like I still think they can beat teams.
No.
They don't look good, but I'm just saying I still think they can beat teams.
If you're in a Power 4 conference and you can't throw for 100 yards in a game, if you can't throw
who's
for
that
90
sound like?
yards in a game,
who's that sound like?
I don't know what to say, man. It's fine because he can run for 150 yards in a game. He couldn't even do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
Almost second to last, another energy drink game because you ain't gonna be able to take a nap in the mid slate because we got too many good games. You got a late kickoff, fire kickoff because I love late games, man. It's bringing that Pac-12 back to after
Me
dark,
too.
man.
Especially if they're good, bro.
Yes. You got Michigan State at USC. Big game for Lincoln Riley. I think Michigan State's a great team. I think Michigan State's a great team to ruin your season. Um, USC is on, a good start. They look a lot better, a lot more improved than they did from last year. Last year, I feel like they had a lot of offensive struggles until they brought in Mavia. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
Maeva.
Yeah, Maeva.
Yeah,
Once he came in, they kind of started to get it going. But like defensively, they look really good. So I think this is a huge game for USC. Just got ranked inside the top 25.
well,
Link.
USC's schedule is tough,
I
low
know,
key.
I know. And
Yeah,
Lincoln Riley's been under a lot of fire. So these are the games you want to win. You're at home, and you have a great squad. So you have two great receivers, Malachi Lemon and Jacoby Lane, that can go up there and get the job done. And that's what I expect to happen this weekend. And I think that's going to be how they win majority of their games is with those two guys. But it's hey.
it's a
If
late
you know
game, bro.
anything about the Pac-12 and After Dark, it's gonna have some fireworks in this one.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. It's a late game, and USC just went across the country, played against Purdue, had a delay, come back, play another late game, and I know Michigan State, they have to travel and whatnot, but the week after this, USC plays on the road going to Illinois. And, it's easy to look ahead, especially after what you just did. We'll see how focused they are. I'm excited to watch this game because I haven't really been able to watch USC play all year. And then, because stuff's going on or they're not on TV. But this is a primetime game, really for them that, I can kind of watch and tune into. And Aiden Childs, he's very talented. We've been talking about him last year. Last year was his first year starting, so it had its hiccups and ups and downs, but it looks like he's improving, and he gives him a chance in this game. And it's just weird things have happened. The points are looking. We'll talk about it, but it just I wouldn't be surprised if this goes down to the fourth quarter and it's very competitive and close. So I'm excited to see what USC looks like. Hopefully they can get it done. I do want to see USC do well just because it is a cool brand and like a good brand for the sport. I don't miss him, bro. I don't miss that guy.
Anyone Lincoln Riley, it's a 6 year.
Yeah, I'd like to see them boys in the playoffs. So shit.
What would you do if y'all did and he just bent y'all over?
It won't happen.
But what would you do? How mad? Like how?
I would be mad for sure.
How mad would the fan base be?
Oh, we'd be livid. Can't happen. Can't happen. Shit. Honestly, since he left, I mean, they haven't done anything better than we have. So
that would be hilarious if that did happen.
Yeah, we would.
But it would be hilarious if we did.
I think.
I know this is far ahead, but somebody came out with their prediction of the playoff game? Did y'all see who y'all would play?
I saw us playing Illinois in one of them. Which one are you looking? I saw us playing Illinois. I've also seen us playing USF. No. I've seen a couple. Who would we playing? A&M. I saw the A&M one. That'd be lit. Yeah. At home too. Like, I think we were like the 8 seed or 9 seed or something. Yeah. Having them at home. Hey, that'd be lit. Old game.
I would be an undercover fan that week. I ain't gonna say what team.
Of who? Nah, you know which one. You know which one.
Undercover fan of somebody.
Nah, you know which one. It's okay. I know. Hey, listen. I talk to Mr. Kelly all the time, and he literally is like, I hate Oklahoma every day. I don't dislike them every day until they play us. He's like, I like them all right. I respect them. But he was like, what did he say? Oh, he was like, if Satan is playing quarterback for the team that the Aggies are playing, I'll still go for them. I was like, God dang.
Yeah, man. Hey, maybe you'll find out if that ever does happen. But I'll be an undercover fan. You gotta see when that moment comes. So.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Old Big 12 matchup. We haven't even played A&M yet in SEC, which kind of sucks. I want to play them soon just because we have history with them too. So yeah.
Last but not least, man, the game that had. I mean, this was supposed to be the game, one of the best games of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously now looking at it, it's like, oh man, all right, but don't be surprised.
Hey, weirder things have happened, and I have a gut feeling.
Don't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we saw it last year. They killed Billy off. They wrote him off. Boom, started knocking people out. Started beating good teams. Started upsetting people with Lagway.
6:30 on ABC. Back-to-back weeks for Florida, by the way.
It's
6:30
possible.
on ABC. Florida at Miami.
It's
Man,
very possible. They got the
man.
roster. They got the staff. They got the defense, right?
Everybody said Billy should have been gone, man. Everybody said he should have been gone after South Florida. Everybody said he shouldn't have even made it to the season. People wanted him gone last year.
He
This is
lost
a game that
LSU.
Billy answers. I'm not saying
If
he's
he,
going to, but this is a game that Billy answers.
Hey, I look at it like this: Lagway threw 5 picks last week, and they still had a chance to win that game on the road against LSU. If he cleans that up, they got a shot, bro. I mean, they're in Florida. There's gonna be a ton of Florida fans there. I think he knows he's got to have it. The team knows they got to have it. Their schedule's crazy. It's daunting. The back's against the wall. You already have 2 losses, but you still have a chance to make the playoffs because of the schedule. And if they can just knock this off, I mean, if Florida goes 9-3, they'll make the playoffs. They will with the schedule they have.
Yep.
So I look at it like this: it's like, hey, you take care of business here. A lot of chilling in Gainesville, a lot of chilling. But I feel like the staff the fan base is probably divided. They probably obviously want to have a good season and win this game, but there's probably half of them that are just like, I'd rather him lose so we can fire him and just move on. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I've already said it before, man. I'm not that high on Miami. I just got to see it. They haven't played anybody. I mean, they played Notre Dame, but y'all know I'm not high on Notre Dame as well. They should not be ranked, in my opinion, but they still are somehow, some way. But this is gonna be a good one. I mean, this is gonna be a weird defensive battle. Like, it'll be a defensive battle as far as like Florida goes, but I think it'll be an offensive struggle for Florida. Like, so that's where like the defense will come in on Miami. But like, it'll be a defensive offensive, battle struggle in this game. I just don't think Miami has the personnel on offense to be able to just light up Florida like that. I know LSU is struggling this year just offensively, but like, if LSU has a better personnel on offense, in my opinion, than Miami does. I don't know if you think that, but I do. If LSU can't do it, I'm not going to sit here and think Miami can do it. Yes, I know LSU isn't clicking right now, but at the end of the day, as we like to say, it's still LSU, Like, they can happen in the second quarter with 7 minutes left, and the rest of the season, and they're just full on firing.
Yeah.
But Florida's defense could be that good to where they just couldn't get anything going. I think this will be a fun one, and I think, hey man, you might want to tune in to Chips and Slips because it's siren. It might be sirening.
Yeah, I'm not, bro. I mean, I've been going back and forth, man, and man, something's telling me that they're gonna show up a lot different. We'll see.
Let's see here.
So, Lagway legacy game. I think it was 6.5.
7.5.
It's been moving. Okay, I could see it coming down to 6 or 5.5 by kickoff. I can see some money coming in on Florida, because hey, Beck has played okay. He's played better, but he can throw picks too, right?
I was literally about to say you better bet the over on a pick here for Beck. It's probably going to happen this game.
Yeah, I mean, he threw 2 last week against South Florida.
Yeah,
they were just playing South Florida, who was pretty depleted by the time they played him.
Yeah.
So
hey,
yeah.
This is. I don't want to say a playoff contender because it kind of like it just feels that they're already eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, just because of how they've looked, but. Hey.
But on the flip side, it's also like if you do lose, it's not a good loss for Miami, the way Florida's looking.
Yeah.
And then, you're Billy's in the same seat, so you already know how the Miami fans are going to be towards Mario Cristobal if he loses this game. So, I don't know, man. It's kind of it's not really a must-win game for Mario Cristobal. But it's like
just because you have the ACC and
it's like a must-win in terms of like.
This is a big game for the ACC
base.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, for fan base, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
You want to be. I mean, you put belt on them last year in the swamp. You see how Florida's looking now. You got to do it again.
Yeah.
At home with a probably more complete team too. I mean, this team is better probably top to bottom than it was last year. I'm not going to say offensively, but the trench play that Miami has now, the O-line, D-line is very good on both sides. So
Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun one, man. 6:30 kickoff ABC. Um, it's basically gonna be a home game for both teams. The Hard Rock Stadium is gonna be rocking, and I can't wait for it, man. I hope I see some magic out there, man.
yeah, I'm excited, man. We got a loaded slate. You know, if you guys are new, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you learned anything new about football, about your favorite team, be sure to comment, leave a like, subscribe. It's free. You know, helps us out, helps grow the channel. But yeah, it's exciting, man. Big matchup for us, you know, and then Carlos, you know, got a big matchup in a couple weeks with Florida. So,
We
you
got a
know,
big matchup every week.
honestly, you should want Florida to win. Just help y'all. I mean,
they don't want that. Hey, is Chips this look today?
no, it's not. I'm just saying for y'all, it'd be good to have them.
We have a big
win.
matchup every week, man.
Yeah, every
It's
game's a
within
big game.
ourselves.
Every game's a big
That's
game.
where our
Every
matchup
game.
is within ourselves.
Every game's a
Especially
big
the
game.
one that's, gets the ball the most in his hands.
Yeah, true.
Get out of that
True.
cranium, sir. I know you can do it. I know it's in there somewhere. Just, maybe you need a little bit of that THC.
This guy.
And let the feelings, fade away. Go out
This
there
guy.
and, hey, Brandon Jacobs did coke in high school and ran for 400. All right? It's possible he could do it.
Hey, not everybody's built like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is built different like that.
That's true. I mean, hey, Ricky did it, and he went to Texas.
True. He did, but he was different.
I advocate for Arch to do it. Let the
I don't know.
boys loose. Let the demons out. Come on.
Hey,
Boys over here for opinionated. As always, welcome.
Boomer.